Love. I was born and raised in a small town, and since childhood I knew that a completely different life awaited me, and not this backwater. Therefore, when Vidya invited me to move to live with him in Kiev, I happily agreed. We met on the internet. Vidi had his own apartment, a company and a cool car. At that time, that was enough for me to fall head over heels in love. I was looking forward to finishing my stupid barber sharaga, and on the wings of love I will fly to my beloved in the capital. As soon as I was awarded a diploma, on the same day I packed my things and went to conquer Kiev. Unfortunately, things didn't turn out so rosy in reality. Beloved was married, had 2 children and worked as a simple bank clerk. I found out all this when I was happy to call him from the bus station in Kiev and said that here I am, I arrived. Yeah. Just waiting for me. As a result, I found myself alone in an unfamiliar city with suitcases and modest savings, which were only enough for a room in a communal apartment. I also couldn't crawl back home like a beaten dog, which means I had to somehow get settled. When I managed to more or less catch on in the capital, I met Kostya. It was love at first sight. On the day we first met, he gave me an orchid. When the flower withered, I did not dare to throw it away for a long time. Probably, I am too sentimental. At these words Lada fell silent. Why did you break up? With the participation asked a young guy sitting opposite the girl. Lada didn't want to talk about it. But she had to do it. She didn't want any secrets between her and Arthur. Honesty is the key to strong relationships. The girl was burned so many times and hoped that everything would be different with Arthur. Looking into his kind brown eyes, she believed that he would not betray. He cheated on me. He thought that I would not know. But I caught them red-handed. It hurts me to talk about it. Lada's eyes moistened. Is that really all? Is there anything else you want to tell me? There should be no secrets between us. Arthur's soft voice became insistent. Linda sighed heavily. It was necessary to continue. No, that's not all. There was another guy, Andrew. We met by chance. I got fired from my job that day and I was in a terrible mood. So many problems piled up at once. Yes, and parting with Kostya, I was going through hard. On that day, such anguish attacked me, it seemed as if the whole world was against me. I sat on a bench in the park and cried. Andrei came up to me and offered his handkerchief. Arthur shifted in his chair and lowered his eyes. Lada realized that it was unpleasant for him to listen to the details of her relationship with other men. And what kind of loving man is pleased? The girl decided to omit further details of their relationship with Andrei. In the end, he was not honest with me. While Andrei was deceiving me, and I believed like the last fool, he was preparing for a wedding with another girl. He lied to me from the very beginning of the relationship. Arthur scratched the back of his head and looked intently at Lada. She didn't seem to want to say anything anymore. The young psychiatrist looked at the pretty girl and could not believe it. Is she really capable of such atrocities? Skimming through the patient's medical history once more, he tried to put the facts together. After a fight with her parents over her refusal to pay for her trip to Moscow, Lada beat both of them to death with a hammer while they slept. And then she took all their savings and went to her beloved. The girl found Victor's profile on one of the popular dating sites. He wrote her a couple of compliments, and that's it. The man didn't expect her to show up on his doorstep with things. How did she even know his address and phone number? Lada first killed Victor, and then his entire family, not even sparing the children. Kostya, there are a lot of questions here. The unfortunate quarreled with his girlfriend, and the poor fellow managed to meet Lotta at that moment. A random passerby to whom he gave an orchid that was not meant for her. Konstantin did not even ask Lotta's name, and after that he did not see her again. A few days later, Konstantin's girlfriend came to his house to put up. For some reason, they did not close the door to the apartment. Lotta broke into them while Kostya was in the shower and strangled his girlfriend. After sneaked into the bathroom and attacked the guy. She inflicted more than 20 knife wounds on him. But the most surprising thing is that after all this, she spent another 2 weeks in the apartment of the murdered. She was not at all embarrassed by the presence of 2 corpses in the neighborhood. Andrei. Here the story is similar to the previous one. The guy saw a crying girl in the park and decided to help her. According to Andrei himself and witnesses, he gave her a handkerchief and talked to her for no more than 10 minutes. But this was enough for Lotta, and she decided that she and Andrei were now together. On the day of Andrei's wedding, the girl broke into the registry office, where the painting was to take place, and tried to strangle the bride with her own veil in the toilet. The guests heard a noise and arrived in time to help. Artur Nikolaevich, have you finished? The orderly looked into the office, where Lotta and the doctor were sitting. Yes, Misha, that's all for today. Escort Lotta to her room, please. The orderly took the girl by the arm and led her down a long corridor. Lotta smiled. She liked how Arthur takes care of her and always asks his friends to accompany her home so that nothing happens to her. At the entrance to her room, the girl turned around and froze. Some woman approached her dear Arthur and kissed her on the cheek. Traitor. I trusted you. Flashed through the girl's mind. In her hand, Lotta was clutching a ballpoint pen that had been quietly stolen from Arthur during the session. She knew that the next time they met, the young man would have a very serious conversation.